Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indiana Golf Magazine. I'm Brian Hammonds. The month of August was a very busy month tournament-wise, which included the road to the PGA Championship. The first step is the Indiana PGA Professionals Championship, which was contested at the Fort Wayne Country Club. The top 5 finishers there make it to the PGA Professional National Championship. That's our top story, brought to you by the Chariot Automotive Group. The final round began with Jeff Marsh and two-time champion Timothy Wiseman tied for the lead at 4 under par. Playing in the final group, Ivan Foster tried to get into the hunt with an eagle at the first to get to within 3. But Wiseman took control early with a tap-in birdie at 1 and another birdie at the par 5 fifth. That got him to 6 under par with a 3-shot lead. And it never got any closer than that. Wiseman was solid all day, and when he made a birdie at the 18th, he had a 5-shot win, his 3rd PGA Professional Championship in the last 4 years.
To be honest, I feel like mentally I was as good as I've ever been. Just, it's hard. I mean, being in that position's hard. I mean, if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying or they're not human. So to have that lead, I know people are chasing you. It's not easy. So I felt like I did a really good job of just being nice to myself when I did mess up, and just focus on the next shot over and over. I feel like the game was good too, but mentally is kind of what elevated me, I think.
Also, a tip of the hat to Dave Pugh. Despite playing with a shattered heel and wearing a boot on his left foot, he shot rounds of 71 and 72 to qualify for his 8th PGA Professional National Championship. Timothy Wiseman and Eric Steger were both already exempt into the National Championship by virtue of playing in this year's PGA Championship. So the top 7 players qualified to play next April at Bandon Dunes. Vince Drummond won a 3-for-1 playoff to secure the final spot. The Senior PGA Championship was held at the Old Oakland Golf Club, and 71-year-old Gary Robison shot rounds of 69 and 72 to win by 1. It's the 18th time in Gary's career that he's qualified for the National Championship. Robison had to hold off John Dalcarobo in the final round, who shot a 69. Dalcarobo is already exempt into the National Championship, so Mike O'Toole, Jim Keithley, Craig Bowden, and Tim Frazier also qualify to play in the Senior PGA Professional Championship coming in October in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Earlier in August, the Club Car Stroke Play Championship was played at the Broadmoor Country Club, and Eric Steger shot a 67 to win by 1 over Peyton Snowberger, Mike O'Toole, and Franklin Christ. Vince Drummond seems to always be on the first page of the leaderboard. He tied for 5th. In amateur golf, the Indiana Senior Amateur Championship was held at the Old Oakland Golf Club, and some familiar names made their presence felt in that event. The reigning 2-time Senior Player of the Year, Mike Williams, took a 3-shot lead into the final round at Old Oakland, but he struggled mightily out of the gate, playing the first 5 holes at 5 over par to fall out of the lead. But he regrouped with a birdie at the 7th. And then, after a terrific second into the par 5 ninth, converted the eagle to take a 2-shot lead. From there, he was back in charge, shooting 34 on the back 9 for a 3-shot win at the Indiana Senior Amateur.
A lot of nerves at play. Did not sleep real well last night. I woke up about 4 o'clock and then I laid there and tried to sleep for another couple hours. So, you know, golf was very, very hard those first 6 or 7 holes, and I threw away a lot of shots, but thankfully something clicked on that 7th hole. I made a putt. I kind of got out of the woods out there into the more open area where I feel a little bit more comfortable, and hit a great shot on number 9 to make an eagle, and then just kind of just got my wits about me and took it 1 shot at a time and made some putts. I've never won anything like this. I've won the match play a couple times, which is also a great honor to win a state event like that, but something that says state amateur on it, that's big.
Munster's Chuck Starcevich shot the round of the day, a 3 under 69 to finish in second. Bob Jacobs lost in a playoff last year. He finishes in a tie for third this year after a final round 70, along with Carmel's Sterling Thompson. In the Super Senior competition for players 65 and older, the owner of the Old Oakland Golf Club, Steve Sterrett, led by 2 going into the final round. But he couldn't hold off Indiana Golf Hall of Fame member Terry Werner. Playing in his first Super Senior event, the 71-year-old shot an even par 72 to win by 2.
I hit the ball really well today. I really did. The only bad drive I hit was on 18 on the last hole. Otherwise, I think I hit every fairway and most of the greens and 2 putted and thought this would go in, it didn't. Thought that would go in, it didn't. And just keep going. Just keep trudging along and see what happens. So Steve had a bad hole, and I ended up playing it good. So yeah, it was a good day all around. Any Indiana golf event means the world to me. I love Indiana. I love the way they run the tournaments. It's just a great event, great people, and it's just I like Indiana golf.
Werner adds the Super Senior Amateur to his Hall of Fame resume. Sterrett was done in by 2 double bogeys en route to a 76. Dave Williamson and defending Super Senior Amateur champion Harry Moore both shot under par in the final round to finish 3rd and 4th, respectively. And while we're on the subject of amateur golf, congratulations to Noblesville's Jacob Modleski for being named to the 2025 United States Walker Cup team. The biennial event held between the United States and Great Britain and Ireland will be held September 6th and 7th at Cypress Point. Modleski is only the 7th Hoosier to make the Walker Cup team, which is comprised of the top amateur players in the country. Spider Miller not only made the team as a player, but captained the U.S. team in both 2015 and 2017. Patrick Rogers and Ed Tutwiler are the only Hoosier players to have played on 2 Walker Cup teams. The PGA Tour season is over, but the Korn Ferry Tour is getting down to crunch time as players battle for a 2026 PGA Tour card. Joe Weiler is a Hoosier on that tour, hoping for a late-season charge, as we see in our French Lick Resort Spotlight. Joe Weiler grew up in Bloomington, Indiana, and when it came time for the 2-time All-State player to choose where he would play college golf, he chose West Lafayette.
Lots of grief. Wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, there are so many circumstances, that led me to Purdue. I loved Purdue. I did engineering. I loved the coaches, teammates, everything. There were so many things that I loved about Purdue, and I caught a lot of grief, but I take that on the chin now for sure.
Weiler had good success at Purdue. He was named All Big Ten 3 times. In 2019, he also added the Indiana Amateur Championship and was named the Indiana Golf Association Player of the Year. But turning pro wasn't a given at that point.
As I grew up, I always thought I wanted to play professional golf, and then when I went to college at Purdue, I almost went through a little bit of a lull there where I was playing okay, but I didn't know if I wanted to play professionally, and I guess my decision was towards the end of college. It's a different lifestyle, it's not for everybody. Even if you're good, it's a different way of going about things, and I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm having fun while I do it. So definitely towards the end of college was when I officially tried to decide I wanted to try it.
Joe made it through Q School on his first try and is now playing his 3rd season on the Korn Ferry Tour. He was in French Lick recently as the guest speaker at Media Day for the Korn Ferry Tour Championship. He'd like to return in October with a chance to earn a PGA Tour card. Joe currently sits 76th in points, with the Korn Ferry Finals starting soon. The top 75 after the first 3 events make it to French Lick.
This year's been a little tough. I wish I would have played better throughout the bulk of the season. Summertime, it's been ebbs and flows, and I feel like in the last couple of weeks I've been able to work on some things that are going to make it a lot better. And it's hard to make some changes in the middle of a 6-7 week tournament stretch, and so I found some light the last few weeks, and I'm excited because we have these 3 weeks off. And we were talking, it's like, well, it's nice to get some weeks off. I'm actually pretty pumped to work on some things to get my game where I know it should be going in, and I think I'm going to play great the last few weeks of the year.
It's time now for our Golf Performance Academy Tip of the Month. Most amateur golfers struggle with a slice off the tee. Well, Mike Asbell is here to fix that.
Hey everyone, Mike Asbell here at the Golf Performance Academy at Golf Club of Indiana. Today I want to give you a little tip on how to straighten out that driver and get that real nice launch so we get real good flight, a lot of roll at the end. So a lot of people struggle with an over-the-top move. We hit a slice. That's the predominant flight and shot shape for most amateur golfers. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips to feel a different way and try to get that to straighten out. So one of the things that you can use is if you got your range basket, sitting down, dump a couple balls out there, take your range basket. We're going to act like this is just going to be full of water. Okay. So what we're going to do in our backswing is we're going to feel low, like we're going to pick up the water here. And then I want to dump the water over my left shoulder, my front shoulder. This action of working kind of low to high will start to create the opposite effect of why most slicers hit it to the right or for a lefty to the left. So what we see with slicing people, with people that slice the ball, is it's more of a higher motion to a lower motion. So you'll see the basket kind of down here, right? We're going to flip that whole thing and exaggerate this low to high, okay? So when you turn that into with the driver, when you take your driver and you feel that, it's again feeling low here, high this way. The driver will want to move up. The toe will want to swing. That'll get the ball to kind of turn over the opposite way for you, okay? So we're going to give this a shot here. Stepping into it, feeling low here, high here. Looks something a little bit like that. Come on out and see us at the Golf Performance Academy here at Golf Club of Indiana. If you guys have any more questions, thanks and enjoy the show.
Here's what's coming up in September in Indiana golf. The fall season is upon us with the PGA Fall Pro-Am on the 2nd. The IGA Mid-Amateur Championship will take place on the 4th and 5th at the Alcona Country Club. The PGA Fall 4-man team is the 15th at Broadmoor. The IGA 4-ball championship is the 21st at Brickyard Crossing. And the PGA Fall Stableford will wrap up the month's events on the 22nd at the Ulen Country Club in Lebanon. And that will do it for this episode. I'm Brian Hammonds. Thanks for watching, and join us again next month for Indiana Golf Magazine.